I know everyone is eager to get started, so candidates, please take your places while I explain the ground rules for tonight. As moderator, I'll guide the discussion, and I'll be joined in the questioning by Salem Radio Network.
Yeah. Hi, y'all. This your boy. A lot of people know me as JFK. Joshua, Femi Corday. Here saying what's up. Now, this project is a... Whoa. What's up, my people? It's your boy, JFK. How far? If you're at the building, drop me a line. Let me know. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what's happening. My people. Hey, how you guys doing? Let me know who's here. Let me know who's here. You know, it's another day. You know, we thank God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a beautiful time to be alive. You know, to know that if God has preserved you till today, is a blessing. You know, and we don't take it for granted. We don't take it for granted at all. If you're in the building, let me know you are here. Let me know you are here. How you doing? First of all, big shout out to all my people in the South, Texas, everybody out there. You know, you're in our hearts, you're in our thoughts, you're in our prayers. Yes, my brother out in Texas. First of all, right there, Rakeji, tell me what's going on. Listen, follow and show, tell me what's going on. How you doing? Follow and show, what are you doing now? Are you ironing your clothes when they bring light like NEPA? Are you fetching water? What am I even talking about? There's no water to fetch. Hey, yes, my sister Ajoke, you are the best. I appreciate you. Sister Ajoke, is late. It's late, oh. You are still awake. Are you a Motekun? Sister, are you a Motekun? Yo, Folosha, I know, like, you know, that Nigerian, you know, my people in Texas, you know, I hope you haven't forgotten all your Nigerian skills, all your body house skills. Everything will rush back, fetching water, ironing clothes. If you don't have light, you know, what you have to do, you know. I can't even imagine. There's no charcoal iron for you guys. I don't know what you're, I don't know what you're working with, man. I don't know what you're working with, man. Yo. KG says, my phone is on permanent charge just in case they take light again. My goodness. NEPA must be laughing at you guys. I'm so sorry. You know, this is not fair. It's so, I mean, you can't travel all this way from Nigeria to have blackout. It's not fair. It's not fair. Yeah, we lost power in the worst possible time. Yeah, it's cold. It's the coldest it's ever been, and then you don't have any source of light. The enemy is a liar. The devil is a liar. This is an attack. This is a spiritual attack on Texas. It's not funny. I feel for you guys. I hope it's getting better. I heard that some people are getting some light back. Let me know, you know, and you know, if you guys know any organizations in Texas that are helping people that we can send money to, please let me know. I want to put it on the show, put it on my page. We don't know who to trust more or less, but I wanted to get that information out. If there's any organization you guys are aware of in Texas doing their thing, let me know, please, so we can get it out. Once again, thoughts and prayers are with you. KG, may I feel your pain, man. You left New York and you are over here now. You can't even shovel the snow because it's ice. Hey, it's not right. It's not right. I feel your pain. But you know what? You know, yeah, Sister Joker, what's up? He says, I had a good laugh, but hey, it's terrible moment for those in Texas. I mean, all you can do is just try to be happy, you know, because you don't want depression to come and meet the cold. You know, it's a horrible thing. And, you know, there's a lot of politics around it, but it's not even something that, you know, the first thing that comes to mind is not politics, right? The first thing that comes to mind is people, you know, human beings, you know, and suffering. Because as I'm picturing everyone in Texas, I'm picturing children, right? If adults can manage, it's one thing, but children, what are the kids supposed to do? What are the kids supposed to do? That's one of my biggest thoughts when I'm thinking about it. The children, like, you know, little ones. There was a mother on there the other day talking about they have an autistic child, you know, who's constantly going to the light switch and putting on and off the light switch and just waiting for the light to come on. I mean, you know, that child is fixated on the switch. What do you tell the kid? You know, there's no light, there's no power. You know, it's one thing for some of us who have experienced it before, you know, but now you're in an environment where you're prepared, you know. I just feel bad. I just feel bad. Yeah, yo. So yes, Tajoke, you know, hope you guys are good. Yeah, to guys in Texas, please, our hearts, our prayers are with you. And you know, unfortunately, not all of you can get on a plane and go to Cancun. Cancun, cruising in Cancun. First of all, let me just say, on behalf of Senator Ted Cruz, it's not his fault. I can't come and die. That's what Ted Cruz is basically telling you. I can't come and die. Is it your Cancun? No. Tell me, is it your ticket? Is it your Ritz-Carlton hotel? Why is everybody harassing this man? Eh? Why is everybody abusing this man? Eh? Is it the only one that will ever go to Cancun? He says his children that sent him, and you guys are giving him beef. Oh boy, Ted Cruz. Let me know, what do you guys really think about Ted Cruz and Cancun? I have mixed feelings. I'll be honest with you guys. If you are here, drop me a line. Let me know. My people are in the building. We're going to talk about Valentine's Day really quickly too, because I know there's a little bit of controversy. You know, during Valentine's Day and the weekend, I saw, you see a lot of posts by some pastors, some ministers, some believers who are kind of telling everybody, if you are celebrating it, if you're observing it, you are the devil. We're just going to talk about that real quick, but that's secondary. I'm starting off with Ted Cruz because it allows me to talk about Texas. What do you guys think about Ted Cruz? Going to Cancun. I have mixed feelings, honestly. My Texas people talk to me. How do you feel about your senator going to Cancun? I have mixed feelings because I'm like, yo, Cancun is nice right now. Like, can't nobody argue that. Cancun is a good deal right now. If you could go to Cancun, will you not go? Yo, KG, yeah, about Ted, my man, cruising in Cancun. So I have mixed feelings about everybody's getting on my boy Ted. Like, if you could go to Cancun right now, would you or would you not? I get it. He's a senator. I get it. His job is to take care of the people. I know all that. Yeah, Pastor Chala is in the building. But I know Pastor Chala will go. If Pastor Chala could get a chance to go to Ritz-Carlton in Cancun, look, let me tell you something. There's a Yoruba saying that says that suffering is not pap water. He will show me a call. Nobody will enjoy suffering. So everybody's getting on Ted. Like Ted is looking at him like, why am I suffering? Ted is like the prodigal son inside that cold. It's like I'm in the cold. There's a blackout. There's ice everywhere. But in my father's house in Cancun, there's a cabana to serve you drinks in Ritz-Carlton. Pastor Shila, there's nobody that doesn't like a better thing. Of course, I'm being a little facetious, but there's some truth to what I'm saying. Some of this thing with Ted, some of it is jealousy, my guy. Some of it is jealousy because picturing this guy on a plane heading to a nice location, Ritz-Carlton, is not a joke. Do you see? My people are falling. My Texas people, I'm thinking of you right now. Thoughts and prayers are with you. Please, if you know any charity we can send money to. If you are here, drop me a line. What do you think about Ted, man? Who did Ted offend? Who did Ted Cruz offend? He just went to Cancun, with the fam. Did you not hear Ted Cruz? He says his children told him to go. His children, why would he not listen to his children? His children said, Daddy, we know you are the senator, but of all the places to go in the world, we are choosing Cancun. Please pack your bags, you and mommy. Let's go. Everybody's getting on my boy Ted. Somebody cannot go to Cancun anymore. Pastor Shala, clear feel. Somebody can't even go to Cancun anymore, y'all. Just for a couple of days, y'all. I can't be taking some time out, y'all. Don't you know how stressful it is supporting Donald Trump through impeachment? Do you not understand that Ted needs his break? Come on, talk to me. Do you not understand that after you acquit a president who has incited insurrection, after you run around objecting to the validity of an election, you need to rest. Have you ever helped incite a riot before? You need to rest. Yo, Fadu guys in the building. I know my man. Yeah, my man. I'm with you a little bit on this, man. It's like a little bit much. But Fadu, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Let me read Fadu Guy's comments. Yo, Steve, my brother, I was gonna say, we gotta be real about this. This is too much. People enjoy finding faults with others. I really don't care for the guy, but if you have the resources to escape suffering, how we tell him how to spend his time? If he was a regular citizen, there won't be any uproar. After all, the Senate is in recess. He can't come and kill himself. Yo, Steve, you're on point. Ted Cruz cannot come and die for you. There's some jealousy here. Look, if I could go to Cancun myself, I would go to Cancun. Even if I'm your president, I will say there's a summit. See, that's where I fault Ted Cruz. Ted could have organized a meeting. He could have told them he's going to Cancun to get oil. I'm going to Cancun to bring electricity. You could have told them something, you know what I mean? But Ted just up and left. You see, now, but let me tell you. Now, let me tell you something. Like Moreni Keji says, Ted's behavior is evidence of the problem with Southern politics. His people are not blaming him. Instead, they are defending him. The fact of the matter is, politics in this country is done. This dude can shoot someone dead in the street and his people will support him. His behavior shows his level of cowardice, but he did it because he knows he won't get much flag from his core. Let me challenge you on that. He got more flag than he expected, bro. That's why he changed his ticket from Saturday to Thursday. My guy, forget that plan. Did you? I'll play his latest response now. I'll play his latest response because this is how you know he realized he messed up. He over here apologized after trying to excuse himself. His last video is apologizing. Steve, so now so far, cause Steve, I'm hearing you. Look, blackout, no light, maybe no light, no water. You have children, you have a wife, you have really. When people tell this guy to stay inside the code, oh, let me get it. You are suffering, so he must suffer too. Now let me now bring you home. Ted Cruz is the goat, not in the good way. You know the goat is the greatest of all time. No, Ted Cruz is the goat. He's on the ure. Ted Cruz is the man. Ted Cruz is a rubbish guy. And I'll tell you what makes Ted Cruz different. Steve, you have a big point. Any other person travel to Cancun. If you can travel, travel. If you can go to Lagos, go. The thing with Ted Cruz, apart from the fact that he's a senator, right? He's a leader in this state. This is his job, bro. You see, that's the problem. He's confused himself. Ted Cruz is one of those guys who have forgotten that they are there because of some people. Ted Cruz has spent his time there just being an antagonist, just being an anti-Obama person, just being a pro-Trump person. He has. I don't think he's bothered to do anything for Texas. In this one moment where Ted Cruz has to do something for Texas, he couldn't do it. That's the problem with Ted Cruz. And everybody defending Ted Cruz is missing a big point. He's not a regular citizen. That's the job. This is the job. When your constituency is suffering, do you know what makes it worse for Ted? Do you know what makes it worse for Ted? If you're here, drop me a line. What do you feel about Ted Cruz? You know, I've said the joking part that Ted Cruz cannot come and die. If you can afford Cancun ticket for your family to Ritz-Carlton, like his wife sent in the email, we're going to get to his excuses also, which is also the problem. But Ted Cruz can come and die, you know what I mean? Who doesn't want to go to Cancun and escape the cold? Some of you left New York because of cold. You moved your entire life to Texas. Come on. So Ted Cruz cannot go for a quick with this. But let me also come and argue against it. Ted Cruz is a senator. He has a duty. He has an obligation to the people of Texas. You should be seen to at least care. This is the thing. This is the thing that I raised about Trump too. Is the lack of empathy. Is the inability to consider other people. It is the worst sign that you cannot lead. You're not a leader. You can be a regular dude. I'm a regular dude right now. We're all regular. But if you're going to take the job of a senator, you can't do that. That's the job. When you're campaigning, what do you tell the people? I'm going to wake up every morning thinking about you. I'm going to go to bed thinking about you. I'm going to fight for the American people. I'm going to fight for the people of Texas. Those were the promises in your campaign. Fine, nobody lives up to all their promises. But in this moment, is the bare minimum that Ted Cruz could do was stick it out with his people. Understand this. Ted Cruz could have sent his family away and it would be cool with me. Y'all not listening. You know what I mean? It's hard to say sensationalism sells. He has always had a penchant for causing controversy. Since when I've really thought that politicians care for the no. But you see, Steve, I want you to separate a politician that cares for his constituency and a politician that can at least pretend to care. This is the second layer of this conversation. You got to at least be seen to care, bro. That's the least part of your job, bro. Just show up. Steve, you got to show up. If Ted Cruz had sent his wife and kids to Cancun and he had stayed behind to work and help the people, it would be less of an issue. Do you know what Beto O'Rourke was doing? Who lost the election in 49 to 50? So all these people trying to defend Ted Cruz talking about what could he have done if he stayed behind. That's dumb. And I'm going to get to the hypocrisy is clear. The hypocrisy is going to be with us the whole time. We're going to get to hypocrisy. But just on the face of it, that's dumb. To say that Ted Cruz couldn't do anything, he's just a senator, is the dumbest thing. Because regular citizens, ordinary citizens, are caring for people, taking food to houses. Are you out of your mind? So Ted Cruz all of a sudden is powerless now? Come on, man. You guys will defend anything and you go to any length to defend, and there's no reason to. Ted Cruz himself eventually got to the point where he had to apologize because it's indefensible. But you guys always rush out to defend all the. I mean, I say you guys and all these right-wing guys, and they are so sad they don't want any of their guys criticized. Ted Cruz went out there and he knew that he was wrong. So why are you defending him? All these people trying to make Pastor Big guys. Pastor Big, how you coping, Baba? Yeah, we're not stupid, Ted. We're not stupid. We know the difference between a leader who cares and a leader who's out for himself. Do you know what this signifies? If there was a battle that the people of Texas needed to fight against any kind of enemy, what Ted Cruz is telling you that he is likely to slowly slink to the back and then run away. That's what he did, bro. And now let me add to that understanding of why Ted Cruz is wrong all the way. You know, I've made jokes about how I don't blame him normally. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to suffer. All right. Go to Cancun with he has children, he has a wife. Come on, y'all. I get that. This is where it gets complicated. As the senator, he should have sent his wife and kids to Cancun. He should have stayed behind and rolled up his sleeve or put his jacket on and should have been going around, not just making phone calls. I'm sure Ted Cruz could get a nice, big SUV, a truck that could go through the ice. I know that much. He could visit some people. He could get some things. He could make. I mean, Ted Cruz, as a senator, you could make things happen. As a state congressman, you can make it. I don't understand this desire to defend rubbish. Don't defend rubbish. That's what y'all were doing with Lysol until they eventually destroyed your democracy. Stop defending rubbish, small rubbish, big rubbish. There's no need to defend it. When somebody is able to say, I was wrong, I'm sorry. That's what we're talking about. That's good. We can work with that. Because now I've not even told you the worst part of it for Ted Cruz. Pastors in the bill. Yeah, he got caught. Ted got caught. Yo, they took people enemies. Enemies. Yeah. The guy was just being himself on the plane. He was sitting in the lounge, the departure lounge, sipping a coffee or whatever. People taking pictures of the brother Ted. You guys are just evil. Why y'all taking pictures of Ted and sharing on social media? Talking about, oh, guess who's leaving town? Is it your business? Is it your Cancun? Is it your flight? You know what I mean? But on a serious note, the problem is people will notice you if you're on a flight and a time like this. My people in Texas, I'm feeling you. I hope they bring your light soon, man. So now I've told you about the fact that number one, you can talk about the Ted Cruz and say, oh, fine, anybody can try to get away from this kind of situation. But that's the job. That's the job. You don't get to do that. You do not get to do that. And that's why he's going to get a lot of beef for this. And then this is the other thing that people need to know about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz has been the forefather of those who abuse other people that do this kind of stuff. That's why you can't defend him. Steve, that's why you can't defend him. Brother, that's why you can't defend him. Because he's the king of the trolls that troll other people at a time like this. That's the problem with defending Ted Cruz. Steve says, there's a shift in social life. Being brash and sensitive is the norm. I fear for new. Yeah, you're right. You're right. The world is in a tricky place, and with social media, your brashness, your rubbishness. I started this whole every live because of all the fact that, the coronavirus came through and conspiracy theory became the order of the day. Nobody cares about anybody else. But the selfishness that is embodied by what Ted Cruz did is a very unique one. Then after the fact that he tried to throw his kids under the bus. It's insane. It's absurd. Let me explain this to you. Even if it was true, y'all go with me on this. If you're here, drop me. I appreciate you. Sister in the house, my sister Basira Lawal in the building. Momio, Alpha. Momio, Kilo Shele. Good to see you. It's been a while. So this is it. Ted Cruz has spent his career yabbing people for moments like this. So please, if you're trying to defend him on this, stop. He's not the one. He's not the one. Don't waste your arguments on this dude. This dude is, of all people, this dude deserves all the trolling he's getting. This is the trolling that he has attracted to himself. That's the kind of person he's been. All right. So Ted Cruz does not get the benefit of the doubt here because of the fact that Ted Cruz himself has been the one who has been yabbing. If you see how Ted Cruz trolls people, what do you mean? If you say, I'm gonna show you something that he did with California, but let me do this. I'm gonna first of all I'm gonna share something. I'm gonna share Ted Cruz's own statement, right? And then we're gonna talk about what he did. But if you're here, drop me a line. So Ted Cruz is not the one you can defend on this. That's the problem you have. Anyone who's trying to help Ted Cruz, he's not helpable on this matter because of his history, because of what he's also done to others. All right. So let me do this. Let's play Ted's most recent apology. Because unfortunately for Ted, when he got home, there were people waiting for him outside his house. I feel bad for him. I feel bad. But let's do this. Let's talk about what Ted says is going on.
Well, good afternoon. I'm back home here in Texas. This has been a really hard week for the state of Texas. We've had not one but two horrific storms. Over 4 million Texans lost their power, lost heat, lost electricity, lost lights. This has been a frustrating week for Texans across our state. For a state as incredible as ours, the greatest state in the greatest country in the world, the idea that we couldn't heat our homes or turn on the lights was ridiculous. It was frustrating, and it shouldn't have happened. The last 24 hours, it has become a news story and a bit of a Twitter sensation that I went with my family, traveled yesterday to Mexico. I just got back. I flew out late last night. We had spent 2 days without power, and my girls wanted to take a trip with their friends and frankly get somewhere where it was warmer. And Heidi and I agreed. We took them. I flew them down last night, and then I just flew back today. Before then and going forward, I am continuing to work with state officials, with local officials, to get the grid back on, to get power back to Texas homes. At the height, we had over 4 million Americans, over 4 million Texans without power. The governor's now reported those numbers are down to about 325,000. I'm grateful for all of the people that have gotten power, but that's still 325,000 too many people not to have power. That needs to be fixed. And after that, there needs to be a serious examination as to why it was the grid was not able to handle the impact of this storm. And that's something that I'm going to press for. I know the governor's called for, and I expect leaders across the state of Texas will call for.
First question. Let me he did it again, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here, drop me a line. So Ted did it again. He referenced his daughters talking about my daughter said there's no school. The unfortunate thing for Mr. Cruz is that the text that his wife sent out also came out, where his wife is the one who's telling her friends that me and Ted were going. She made it look like she was the one who came up with the idea. Steven, you're feeling for Ted. Listen, I feel you. It's human sympathy now. Steven is feeling for Ted like they didn't even allow the man to quarantine, in peace. Well, the problem is, if Ted Cruz wants to talk about quarantine now, it's a little late. These are the people who went along with Donald Trump to pretend like Corona didn't exist. This is the problem. When you do things and you don't think there's going to be repercussions. This is the problem when you do things and you don't think there's going to be any. Pastor Benga, he's referencing his kids. It's like we're supposed to look at his children now and say that they're the reason why their father didn't do the right thing. These are the things that compounded for me about Ted Cruz. It's hard it's hard to be empathetic. It's hard to understand him. It's hard to give him a pass because he keeps doing things that will remind you why he's not a good person. It's not a good person. Bro, Ted Cruz should have been, I had no light. It was cold as brick. I watched my kids. They were shaking. My wife was shaking. We were worried. I said, that's it. We got to go. I'm leaving. I'm a senator. I can afford this. Your baby, get your bags. Kids, get your bags. We're heading out to Cancun. You know what I mean? Do that. And then, like I said, maybe send them to Cancun and you stay. Or go with them to Cancun, but let your ticket reflect that you intend to come right back. All of those things would have been acceptable. As a father, as a husband, as a family man, I get that, bro. Got to take care of yours. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is not just a willy-nilly, you know, what can I call criticism of Ted Cruz. He's a father, you know what I mean? But you're not supposed to like come up and say, "No, my kids made me do it." Like, bro, come on, man. Come on, have some dignity, bro. Steve, blame shifting has happened for the last 4 years under the administrations. And most folks said it was okay. Why are we up in that? Nah, that's the thing. We, the same folks that were saying it wasn't okay, are the ones that are still saying it wasn't okay. He's the one that was saying it was okay. Now he's doing it. He wants to get the benefit of blame shifting. He doesn't get that, bro. He doesn't get that. That's why he went to apologize. I didn't play the whole video at the time, but he apologizes at the end of that video. He said it was a mistake. It was a wrong idea. He said as soon as he sat on the plane, he realized he messed up. Yeah, I bet you did when you saw those cameras clicking. Like, bro, this is what I'm talking about. Yo, Alex is in the building. What's up, my African brother? How fun now? Yeah, yo, we are talking to the Texas people who are asking them to just stay safe. You know what I mean? Alex Joseph in the building. Alex, you should direct a movie for this entire episode, Cruising in Cancun. Alex, man, I need you to do a movie on this, man. Cruising in Cancun. But so me, Steve, everybody here, we're having this conversation. If you're here, drop me a line. Good to see you guys. My Texas people are online. First of all, that means that somebody's phone is charged, so you can at least watch something. And some of your light is back. I'm glad. I'm so glad about that. I was worried about that. But, you know, we're talking about, you know, Texas and Cruz doesn't get a pass on this. Cruz does not get a pass on this because he's at the forefront of everything that's wrong with where we are in this country. He doesn't get a pass on this. And like I said before, of all people, you can't defend this guy. This is the guy who has spent so much time trolling everybody else for everything else. Do you know how horrible it is for you to have a tweet about this, a moment like this, identical moment, and you're insulting the whole state, and you're trolling a whole state? He trolled California. This dude trolled the whole state when they were going through. This is what I'm talking about. It's the lack of compassion, no empathy. It's no empathy. If you drop me a line, you know what I mean? Pastor Winger said, I disagree that you should send them anywhere. We should also fight together, including the wife and children. No, Pastor, I disagree with you. I disagree with you. If it was me, I'm sending my wife and Pastor, no. He that does not provide for his family is an infidel. Pastor Winger, my wife and children have gone since. If I could afford it and I could organize it and I can have bodyguard to the airport and since. Eh? No, as they say in Yoruba, Erashemi Kwo. If I had this opportunity, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, his wife and kids, you know what I mean? For me, they're off limits. They could go to Cancun, bro. Take care of the fam. As a matter of fact, I feel like if Ted Cruz sent his wife and kids to Cancun and they were safe in Cancun, he would have time to roll up the sleeves and be about the people. And I promise you, you know, his stock is going to go up. His stock would have gone up. His stock would have gone up. Beto O'Rourke lost the election. He's not a senator. He's not a thing. He's on phone banks. He's gathering, resources for Texans. That's what Beto O'Rourke is doing. Beto O'Rourke is in El Paso. They're not on the same. Their grid is not connected to the part of Texas that's in trouble right now. Beto O'Rourke could be chilling, but what he's doing is helping out. Now, that takes me to another part of this conversation. My Texas people, I hope you know that they're trying to play you. They're trying to play you. The governor's trying to play you. Rick Perry's trying to play you. Still be Fox News. I'm so upset with Fox News today. I mean, Fox News always upsets me, man. But right now, I'm so mad. I'm so mad because they're so opportunistic and this is just evil. This is evil. For something like this to be happening to people of Texas, and the first instinct the governor has, the first instinct the politicians have is to go on TV and trying to defend the energy industry and trying to defend their friends who run the oil, companies. They're trying to defend, the rest of, because what they did was they went out there and they started putting the blame on windmills, bro. Are you out of your mind? I mean, people like Tucker Carlson needs to go. This disinformation that they've made disinformation into an art form. Tucker Carlson started his show talking about the windmills. Texas started relying on windmills, and now look, that is such a lie. And not only is it a lie, it's the kind of lie you would never believe. If they told you, answer me, riddle me this. If I told you that Texas, the state of Texas, Ruby Red Texas, adopted the Green New Deal in any form, what would you say to me? You would say, stop lying. Because we all know how Texas Republicans who run Texas, we know how they feel about the Green New Deal. We know how they feel about windmills. And in some cases, understandable. Texas has built a lot of wealth on energy, fossil fuels. I get it. I'm not naive, man. Look, if it's like Nigeria, asking somebody importing generators to help you fix your power lines and bring electricity is a dumb idea. They can't help you unless you can show them a way they can make money from that too. The money they're making importing and selling generators will keep them on the side of blackouts everywhere so they can keep selling generators. Same thing with Texas and Texas Republicans and their rich friends and oil barons. Nobody's going to use their own hands to destroy, their own golden goose that lays the golden egg, right? So I'm just being real. So I understand when, you want to defend your fossil fuel industry. But the nerve of these people to go out there and pretend like windmills and green energy is the reason why this disaster is bad. It's so insulting to the intelligence of the people of Texas. As if Texas do not understand. Texas know what their energy sources are. Texans know. Texas is not a windmill state. They said 10% of their energy is green, windmills and whatever, and windmills and solar. If 10% and then the other 90% is there, and you have this total failure of your system, and you're going to run out and try to blame the 10% so that we won't take a look at the 90%. It's so disingenuous. It's so evil. It's so wrong. It makes me so upset. And it shows where these people, the governor of the state, Greg Abbott, thought that his priority was to go on TV and quickly blame windmills, frozen windmills. And I don't want to bore you with some of the details of that too. I mean, yeah, Tucker Carlson never been under threat. Some folks just have privilege, not being fault to spread his. Yeah. No, it's worked for him. As a matter of fact, Steve, they promoted him on Fox News. He's promoted. Congrats to Tucker. But I don't know, Steve, did you hear about his lawsuit where they took him to court for some of the lies? And his lawyer told the judge, this is the defense they gave for Tucker Carlson that helped him escape a libel suit. They basically convinced the judge, or maybe the judge was convinced already, maybe the judge is a fan, that Tucker Carlson cannot be held liable for the lies he was telling on his show, because everybody who watches Tucker Carlson's show knows that he's just an entertainment TV host, that nobody takes his word as fact. This is how they defended him from a libel suit. They told the judge he's not a real news anchor. They told the judge what Tucker Carlson is doing on TV is not news, that he's just an entertainer. That's how they got the judge to dismiss the libel case against him. So they basically went to court to say his show is a lie. Please don't hold him responsible for anything he says on this show. That's how Tucker Carlson escaped liability in the recent case. That's how he went home, telling the judge, my show is not real, it's just a joke. But then he comes on that show and speaks as though he's speaking facts, destroying people's lives. And like you said, KG, you're right. Most the Texans may not even bother to know the energy mix, but I promise you, if you're a Texan, you know that Texas is not the place to be modeled for, windmills. You know that much. When you think Texas, you think oil, right? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. At the very most, or the farthest, you go to natural gas. Everybody knows that about Texas. So the nerve of the governor and these guys to make it look like, oh, the reason we're suffering is because we've depended so much on windmills is the dumbest thing. And I doubt that any Texan believes that. Every Texan in their heart knows that's a lie. And you know, Greg Abbott had to come back and correct it, because even while he was saying that, he was admitting that the windmills and solar account for only 10% of the energy. Furthermore, the investigation so far has shown that the nuclear energy sources, the oil, the natural gas, all the apparatus for those things are frozen. That's why this is so bad. Not because of the 10% of windmills that got frozen. And even that has a story, because the windmills that were frozen because they were not properly insulated, which other people use. That's why everybody's saying North Dakota has a large percentage of reliance on windmills. Everybody's saying that there are nations of the world depending on windmills in Scandinavia, right? They don't have this problem, and they're colder than what Texas is observing. They get colder every time. So if other countries are relying on windmills and they don't have this problem, it's not the windmill. It's the fact that you guys, you got windmills that from you. I don't want to, let me not insult my people in Nigeria. Somebody sold you some windmills, and it's one of y'all anyway, because you kept the money. You got windmills that don't work. You got windmills that are not insulated. There's a cost associated with weatherizing your windmills. You're not the only one with a windmill that has winter. You see what I'm saying? It's all a big lie. And that's the thing that upsets me. Their first instinct is to cover themselves, because they know that this is going to come back and bite them because of all the deregulation that they've done. Let me tell you something, man. All the deregulation they've done in Texas, they've told their company, is anybody wondering? I mean, my Texas people are too smart. They know this. People outside Texas may not know. Is anybody wondering why Texas could not just get power from neighboring states? Is anybody wondering why Texas could not just get help from neighboring states for power and energy? By now, you must have heard enough news to understand. Texas cut themselves off from the grid so that they could deregulate their own energy. That's what's happening. That's why neighboring states that are dealing with the same weather are not having it as bad as Texas. Do you see what I'm saying? They deregulated their energy sector, and they told their companies to do the right thing on their own. Of course, those guys didn't. They did not weatherize their energy apparatus. Their energy infrastructure was not weatherized. And this is why we're suffering now. So, you know what? Politics matters. Policies matter. Who your leaders are matters. Who you vote for matters. I mean, just as a simple, if Beto O'Rourke was your senator now and not Ted Cruz, I suspect your homeboy will be right now rolling up his sleeves. He was always rolling up his sleeves for campaigns anyway. And he's on phone banks. Beto O'Rourke is on phone banks right now, trying to get funding to Texas, trying to help people. That's what he's doing. He's not even in the part of Texas that has the blackout. Y'all didn't vote for him. No, it was 49-50. It was close. Beto lost the election to Ted Cruz. Congrats, you got Ted Cruz. Beto O'Rourke could literally just sit back and say, nah, y'all good. Y'all good. You got your man. But that's not the kind of person he is. But y'all chose Ted in Cancun over there. Ted threw his wife under the bus, threw his kids under the bus. Ted talking about, I turned around and made it. Now everybody knows Ted's ticket was Sunday. He changed it to Thursday. And like I told you before, you can't defend him. You can't defend him. Oh, yeah, let me get KG said that's why they can lie on TV, because their core supporters don't read or research much. It's amazing. But this, KG, I'm still challenging you on this. Even if you don't read, right? Even if you don't listen to MSNBC, fine. Or fake news. Everything is fake news. If I told you just off your knowledge, if I told you that Texas is suffering because it relies on alternative energy, you're supposed to slap me, because we don't do that in Texas. Texas is oil. We love our oil. That's Texas. How you going to turn around and try to blame it on AOC right now? This is it's so annoying. Stupid. Tucker Carlson said Texas has, that the Green New Deal has crept into Texas and there's a 80% reliability. And as he's saying that, the governor is on TV saying it's only 10. But you would have to be just I don't know what you would have to be to like let Tucker Carlson tell you that Texas is like AOC's country. There is no world. They're blaming the Green New Deal. Does anybody know when the Green New Deal passed? Do you know when the Green New Deal passed? Does anybody know when the bill for the Green New Deal, when it was passed and signed into law? It hasn't been passed. It's not been signed into law. It's not a thing yet. You know, and they're trying to use that as the reason why they're suffering. I bring that up because it's so annoying. At a time that a governor, a senator, they should all be focused on helping the people. This is why empathy is important in your leaders. We need leaders who care. We need leaders who can feel your pain. Yo, if you're here, let me see what's going on. Yeah. Steven said, I hear Cancun is real nice this time of year. Bro, if I could go, man, I would. I'm not a senator though. So yeah, if I had cash and I had the connects right now, I'll be over there in Cancun. What you talking about? You know, some strawberry daiquiris. It's a pink drink, and I'm proud of it, bro. I don't make no excuses for that. I take a pina colada in a hot minute. I don't care. The glass can be clear. Let them see I'm drinking a pink drink because I love strawberry daiquiris. Can't have too much because it's too sweet, but I love it, right? I like to be on the beach in Cancun. I want to be in a cabana. Yo, you're not a virgin, man. That's Steve. You know what's up. You can have as much of it and you can still drive your car home, bro. I want to be in a cabana, right? You know, covered up from the shade, whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, snap, y'all got me thinking. So, I mean, I'm not mad at Ted Cruz for Cancun per se. I'm mad at Ted Cruz because he ain't the one. Ted Cruz ain't the one. He has spent so much of his time trolling other people. He doesn't get to escape this. MJ Jags in the building. What's up? I've been waiting for you since what's happening. You know? What's going on in London then? You all right? What's happening with the lockdown? I heard they're extending it. Is that true? Are you guys ever going to come out? Because this is getting ridiculous right now. You have a virus with your own name, UK. United Kingdom has a UK strain of the virus. Now they're fighting to change that name because nobody wants to own a virus. You understand? You know what I mean? But it's getting ridiculous in the UK right now. You guys you're locking down every 2 minutes, and at some point, you got to figure this out, UK. And because if you don't figure it out, we're in trouble over here in America. Because the last strain that came into New York was from Europe, right? And y'all got the new strain, and it's already here anyway. I just want you guys to figure it out, yeah? And to fix it, all right? Sort it. MJ Jags in the building. So we're talking about that, you know. Yo, KG, man, I'm trying, man. But you saw my post the other day. So my son, I don't want him to hear me. So my son, man, he broke out a British accent the other day with his brother. They sound like they were born in the UK, and I'm jealous. That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I've been pretending to have. These dudes talking to themselves like, you know what, yeah, I'll tell you right now, it's not happening. It's not on. And I was sitting there like, where, how? I'm so jealous. But I'm gonna deal with that. That's a personal issue. Yo, it is like the Truman Show. It's like, you know, this horror movie has to end. Corona must go. Yo, I'm sorry, man. Ted Cruz got me bugging today because I want to share this before I get off the Ted Cruz situation. You know, Ted Cruz is the last one to receive any sympathy for the backlash he's getting right now. That's the problem. Because I'm going to show you right now. These are some of the tweets that Ted Cruz put up. All right. These are some of the tweets that Ted Cruz put up. Right. So this was back in August of 2020. Is that what it is? Yeah. This is Ted Cruz's Twitter account. Right. So at the time, the governor of California, you know, he basically came out with a tweet telling people what to do because they were going through, at the time, they were going through a lot of problems with rolling blackouts. This is a response of Senator Ted Cancun Cruz. He said, California is now unable to perform even basic functions of civilization. Are you listening to what Ted Cruz said to Cali when they had their blackouts? I want y'all to pay attention. Ted Cruz says, California is now unable to perform even basic functions of civilization, like having reliable electricity. Biden-Harris AOC want to make California's failed energy policy, the standard nationwide. It says, hope you don't like air conditioning. This is Ted Cruz trolling California. Do you now understand why he cannot escape this troll? That's the kind of person he is. Do y'all see this? He was trolling them in the time of need. You could have political differences, but you got to recognize when people are suffering. That's all I'm asking. And a lot of people do that. When New York was going through Corona, when it first hit New York, I was shocked. I was stunned at how people from other states down south, for instance, Midwest, they were like, oh, yeah, serve New York right. Or we're going to party over here. It's going to stay with them New Yorkers. Yeah, they deserve it. And I was like, why are you talking like this? Let me vent a little bit into Nigeria too. It is all lack of empathy. That's it. That's it. Compassion is dead. And the bodies will follow. That's what's going on. Because I remember when Boko Haram started in Nigeria and they're kidnapping these girls, they're harassing people in Borno, that part of the world, Borno, Niger, and they were harassing people. And I remember some of the posts I saw online because I was constantly talking about it. And I remember some people telling me, oh, snap. Oh, well, let them keep killing themselves over there as long as they don't come here, as long as they don't even bother us. And I was like, are you all mad? Apart from the lack of compassion, that's stupid. That's dumb. There is no wall separating the North from the South. There's no wall. This could be you tomorrow. And in any case, that shouldn't be the measure. We should all be on the same page to say human suffering is something we should all fight against. We must all try to do our best to see that people don't suffer. That should be an agreement. Not to talk of the fact that someday it might be your turn. Texas is feeling that right now. Now, Ted Cruz is all of a sudden interested in federal government assistance. Are you kidding me? Oh, and we don't even have time to talk about the mayor of Colorado, Texas. Have you ever seen anything like this before? No, some of you guys, you guys know about the mayor, right? The one that is resigned now. He quit after the backlash. Did you guys hear that story? A whole mayor tweeting out a message telling people, every man for himself, only the strong will survive. Your government owes you nothing. Your city owes you nothing. Fend for yourself. Don't be lazy. I'm like, what world are we in? Like Steven said, Steve, you got it right, man. Right. He said, no, passionate and insensitivity have become the coin of the realm. The more brash you can be, the more insensitive you can be, the more power to you. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, why would the mayor do that to himself? He had to resign, bro. He had to resign. This is crazy. What are we doing? Let's just be humane to each other, man. Let's just care. Let's just feel the feelings of other people. It's not a perfect formula. I mean, as I'm sitting here, I have my limits that God is working on me. I can help to a certain point, but there's some points I'm not going to help because that's too much. But that's me. I'm working on it. But let's all agree that it's good to just feel for other people. Let's start with that. I think that, and as a Christian, that's closer to what Jesus wants. The Bible says, prefer the other person more than yourself. In honor, prefer one another above yourself. That's the whole point of this. Is like my brothers and sisters in Texas right now. I'm feeling the cold for y'all, man. That dude took a picture of a ceiling where the pipe was burst in the upper room, and the water came down his own ceiling fan, and the water froze into icicles on the ceiling fan. And it's like, enough said. That picture is iconic. Enough said. If your ceiling fan is looking like an exhibit from Antarctica, we're done. This is horrible. This is below zero. You guys are like Eskimos right now, except you're not dressed right. Sorry to try to make fun, but I hope you laugh a little bit with me on this. So I'm sitting in my house. I'm sitting in my room here, man. Like I got some heat. And I'm thinking of you in a room where the icicles are coming from the ceiling fan. How cold must it be? I saw one of my big pastors, one of my uncles in the Lord. he was boiling the snow, and I'm saying to myself, man, this is ridiculous in America. I am flabberwhelmed and overgasted. This is an anomaly. This is indecency. This is a travesty and a catastrophe. Are you kidding me? If you're here, drop me a line. What do you feel about what's going on? We keep saying shout out to our brothers in Texas. I'm gonna find out some of the charities that we can send money to that can help our people in Texas. Please, if you're online, if you know of a charity or a group that's helping people in Texas, please put it in the comment section. Let me share it, everybody. We can't all be there right now, but we can send money for any groups that are giving people food and blankets. I know there are a few out there, but those of you on ground, they will probably know better which organizations are really coming out and reaching out to you. I would love to know so that we can donate and do something. Please, please, please. I appreciate that, because it's a time of need. Like I keep saying, how about the elderly in Texas? How about the older people? Who's helping them? How about people who are bedridden? Are they all getting help? People who are in the hospitals, are they all getting help? It's a human tragedy that it's bad enough we're all dealing with corona and things are bad. How are we supposed to survive when you have this on top of it? And I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. All I know is that it hurts. And that's, if you see me ranting about these politicians, that's partly why, because I feel like we should all be just focused on fixing this right now, instead of them going out trying to blame windmills. But windmills, bro, in Texas, y'all gonna blame windmills? We all know you're not all about that life. I guess that's what I'm trying to. Texas is not about that windmill life. Why are they trying to blame windmills now? That's so dumb. It ain't Portland. It's not Scandinavia. Germany is off grid, man. Germany is using solar and all this other stuff like crazy. If Germany had this kind of problem and they blame the alternative energy, they have a point because they rely on that joint. Texas? And then to make it worse, y'all bought the windmills, but they didn't buy the thing that will help you keep the windmills free from freeze. You have the nerve to try to blame the windmills, bro? Like Ted Cruz blaming his kids? Come on, y'all. We should be better than this. I hope Texas remembers this when next you're electing officials, right? Next presidential election, because Joe Biden has responded like a responsible president. I don't give Joe Biden extra marks. Let me say this right now. I do not give Joe Biden extra marks for just doing the right thing, right? You saw Joe Biden's response. We've declared an emergency in Texas. We've authorized FEMA to give them everything they need. We're sending everything they asked for. We're on call. That's the way it should work. That's the way it should be. Remember when Lysol was president? Remember Lysol, man? Lysol used to be the one to find out, first of all, which state is it? Did they vote for me? If they didn't vote for me, I hope they die. You remember that? Remember how much Lysol spent his time insulting Puerto Rico and its officials and blaming them for the... Do you remember that? Yinka is here. Listen, man, power is back, but we still have to boil water. I had to buy ice block and put... My goodness. Look at you conducting science experiments in your house for no reason. Hey, God will help us. God will bring us out of this thing. They have turned everybody into a chemist. My 10,000 people. You're all chemists now. Wearing lab coats, boiling snow, buying ice, and melting it. Hey, may we never see this again, no Texas. Yinka, this one you have said is too much for me. They have turned my sister into a chemist. No, this must end. But it's like this is the problem. This is the problem I have. You have all these people there, they're running around. If it was Lysol, because it's Texas, Lysol would have been there because those are his people. Joe Biden literally jumped up and said, let's help. That's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. Remember Lysol in Puerto Rico, right? Lysol spent so much time yabbing the mayors in the cities there. He was yabbing the leaders. He said they have embezzled all the money, that he's not sending any more money. He was that the infrastructure was already bad before the hurricane. So, it's not the hurricane. That's what Lysol was doing when he was president, when Puerto Rico had a problem. What's Joe Biden doing? Joe Biden is not out here yabbing the infrastructure, which he has every right to. If he did that, it would make sense. Because this is a problem of unprepared leadership. This is a problem of, inadequate infrastructure. This is a problem of not being proactive when you have all the signals telling you that there's a storm coming, right? And you didn't weatherize your equipment. You didn't weatherize anything. So now you're caught, with your proverbial pants down. Leadership matters, y'all. That's what I'm trying to say. Leadership matters. Let's take this moment and understand what it means to have a president who knows the right thing. So President Robinette, you did the right thing, man. I appreciate you. Yes, yo. So so I know that this whole thing makes it hard, but how many of y'all seen some posts about Valentine's Day where, pastors are talking about, Christians should not be celebrating Valentine's, that people should not be celebrating Valentine's. How many of y'all seen those posts? And what do you think about it? Let me give you a minute. What do you guys think about all that? Like Valentine's for believers. I'm trying to change the topic so my Texas people can have some relief, man. Just laugh a little. Let's have fun. So Valentine's, man, as a believer, what's your view on Valentine's? The whole concept, the day, the gift giving, the cards. Is it proper for a believer to be involved in Valentine's? Should we acknowledge it at all? Should we even register it on our list of things to do or know about? Because I saw a lot of people. There's a lot of controversy about it, and I'm going to give you my take, but I just want to see what's your thought on that, because it's one of those things where you don't want to like fall into the patterns of the world, right? Very essential as a believer. You want to be able to stay above the fray in those ways. At the same time, there's a liberty in Christ that we have that gives us the ability to do things if we do them out of a pure heart. If you do them innocently, and it's not a trap. Some people, all right, MJ says, oh, it's too commercial. Every day is a day for love. That's a legit angle. That's a legit angle. But MJ, you can say the same thing about birthdays, right? Say something about Christmas, say the same thing about Easter. And I think at the end of the day, what we're getting at is the way you use it, right? Is what you do with it. Like you said, every day is a day for love, but do we live like that though? Do we I'm speaking as a husband who's learning how to be better with this. Y'all saw my post Valentine's Day, man, trying to get this fruit basket for the lady, and the fruit basket came in. First of all, there's a whole drama with that. I'm emotional. There's a whole thing with the fruit basket. I had plans. I wanted things to work out a certain way. All I'm gonna say is I'm sorry. It didn't work out. Anyway, fruit basket came. Yeah, I appreciate your spouse on Valentine's Day. So fruit basket came, it was looking good. They got strawberries on there. They got the pineapples looking like a flower over there. You know what I mean? They got the chocolate in there and a cantaloupe and some of the fruit. I don't know what it is, man. It was looking good, y'all. It was looking good, y'all. But it was for the lady, for the Valentine's. But I was hungry and I wanted the fruits. But I had to calm down. What am I trying to get at? It's a special day, and you can and and you just feel. You're exactly right, But you know what? So here's my point. Here's my thing on Valentine's Day, man. If you're here, drop me a line. Appreciate, share the video if you can. Here's my thing on Valentine's Day, man. It's just one more day to celebrate your partner, your spouse. Just seize the day and celebrate your spouse. It's not controversial. It's not a debate. The day comes around, everything is set up for you to do something special for your significant, for your wife, for your husband. Just do the stuff. We don't have to get into the argument because it's all about what are you doing on that day. You know what I'm saying? If on that day, if you involve yourself in iniquity, you are in iniquity, and just pray to God and repent, change. If God is not happy, ask him to help you. But if on that day you're showing love to the bone of your bone and the flesh of your flesh, to the one that God gave you, if you're showing love to that person, if you're celebrating that person, you can't be wrong, bro. That's the thing. So it's not about what they call the day. It's not about the name of the day. It's a day where you're reminded to value the person you're with. That's not wrong. That cannot be bad. At the end of the day, it's what you do. And that's why the Bible is so glorious. The Bible talks about one man esteemeth one day above other days, another man esteemeth all days the same. Whether or not you esteem all days the same or one day above other days, whatever you do, do unto the Lord. For Lord just said, some wives feel it's only the husband that should give gifts. Listen, man, let me put it this way. You don't want to get me in trouble. Let me put it this way. As a husband, I don't mind. That's my response to that. As a husband, I don't mind. If my wife gives me gifts or she doesn't give me gifts, my own obligation, the thing I need to do is to take care of her. I must give her something. That's what I'm saying. Now, if you're a wife and you are here, you are listening to me, and you feel like you should give your husband something, please, I encourage you, help him, give him something. But you know what I mean? No, as a husband, it's my thing. I got, because it's, again, you're valuing this person. You're saying something to this person. You're selecting this day to focus on this person a little bit more. For like I say, you mind. No, I mean, look, it depends on each individual. Look at it this way. Someone like me, if I say to myself, every day of our lives together, my wife takes care of me, takes care of the kids, she brings value to my life. So I may not look at it and say, oh, on this particular day, I'm expecting something more. Now, in my case, maybe I'm free to say that because my wife actually does get me stuff. So it makes it hard for me to talk about that. Some guys, they don't get anything, they might feel differently. Brakeji says, I believe it's pagan origins. I don't see anything wrong with it because Apostle said Corinthians, an idol is nothing. So I think it's a great way to celebrate love, enjoy the day. Brakeji, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's where some of these things collide with our Christian liberty. The Bible says you step on snakes and scorpions and they will do you no harm. In other words, there's a way in which you're going to walk through life as a believer where you're not, that's why you're no longer under the law, right? The liberty you have is to live free, but free to be righteous, free to be holy, free to spread the word of God, free to love the Lord, free to love your neighbor. But that liberty means that you're not constantly looking for traps everywhere. You're vigilant, but you're not paranoid. And that's, I think, the difference, when you talk about Christianity, this Christian walk, you need to be vigilant, but not paranoid, because you've not been given the spirit of fear, right? Of power and love and sound mind. So if that's what you've been given, you can't live in paranoia. I feel like there's a level of paranoia where you're doing all the calculations of Valentine's Day is a pagan day. Because it was a pagan day and they worship a pagan god, I cannot do anything on that day. That's dumb. That's dumb, because if you go to work on that day, whatever you do on that day, you are doing it on the pagan day. So kill yourself. That's what you're saying. And Jesus already said, I do not ask you to take them out of the world. So we're not supposed to be living in that paranoid space. All right. So if Valentine's Day comes around, just because the world sets itself up where it's easier to remember to get a card, it's easier to get flowers, it's easier to say thank you to your spouse, I'll seize that opportunity to celebrate her. It's the same conversation when it comes to Christmas. Oh, Jesus was how do you know Jesus was really born on 25th? It doesn't matter. Do you know that people that chose 25th are pagans? I don't care. I've adopted that day to celebrate the birth of my Lord and Savior, and I will celebrate the birth of my Lord and Savior on that day every year, and hopefully I will be with my Lord and Savior on a daily basis and walk with him. That's the heart of it. I'm not sitting here doing math with you, going through ancient scrolls to figure out exactly when Jesus was born. What I'm glad about is that he was born. Boom. So I just, yeah, brother Alex, same thing as Christmas. Look, thank God for something. Look, if you want to get down with the intellectual conversation about, when Jesus was actually born, was it winter, was it summer? How could he have been in a manger? We can delve into that and have a whole day, but that's not fruitful as far as I'm concerned. That's not beneficial. Jesus was born. He came to die for my sins. He rose again. He's coming back. Boom. I'm good. Follow what he teaches me. Let the Holy Spirit lead. Ask him to cleanse me, forgive me. I want to walk with him. Boom. If you're trying to get into all that, that's what made some people start predicting the return of Jesus the other day, back in 2010 or something. And then, it didn't happen. Jesus, I don't believe that Jesus told us about his coming, his return, so that we could be doing math and trying to calculate the date. The Bible says it will appear to those who are looking up. We should just be living with the understanding that our Savior's coming, our Redeemer's coming back. He's not asking you to do the math. He's not asking you to compare, the Asian calendar with the Chinese calendar, and then, and look at the stars and the orbits and do a machination of it's going to come back in 2025. That's not what the Bible is, the direction of the Bible. If Jesus wanted you to know when he was coming back, he would tell you. Boom. He gave you signals to know that, this world is going to end, and you see those signals, and we pray to God to preserve us for his return. Boom. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can say as Mother's Day and Father's Day, we love our parents, we celebrate them on those days. That's it. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't celebrate them the day after or the day before. It's just another opportunity to really go in on celebrating them. I'll take that chance. I'll take I'm being presented with an opportunity in the universe to celebrate, to remember this person. I'll take that. I'll use it. I'm not going to turn my back on that opportunity in the name of, I'm not really sure if it's, no. You know why it's godly that I celebrate my wife on Valentine's Day? Because I'm a child of God celebrating another child of God under the favor of God. That's it. That's what Jesus was all about. We are the righteousness of God. My goodness. Do you understand that you are the righteousness of God? So it's either you believe Jesus or you don't, bro. If you are the righteousness of God, then the righteousness is coming from within. So if you touch things, you touch them, make them righteous. This is it. So if I celebrate my mother on Mother's Day, bro, it cannot be a sin. Honor thy father and thy mother. He didn't say honor thy father and thy mother except on Mother's Day. Like, that's dumb. That's not what the Bible says. So I brought that in to say, Valentine's Day, all that stuff, man, it's just an opportunity to do the right thing. If it's right to celebrate your partner and you're doing it on that day, it's not you're not worshiping idols, man. If that morning you hold your partner's hand and you guys pray and say, God, on this Valentine's Day, I thank you for this woman. I thank you for this man. Well, you think God is upset that you guys are praying on Valentine's Day? That's not the God we see in the scripture. God just wants you in his presence to be with him and to receive of him and to speak of him. All the other stuff you guys are putting on, returning to the law. You're returning to the law, and it's not acceptable. No, but that's I just wanted to rant on that a little bit. But you know what? Today I was just looking at the virus. I wanted to there's a guest of mine that I'm gonna be bringing on next show, hopefully. Who's gonna help us with talking about where we are with coronavirus, where we are with the vaccine. And shout out to ex-president Donald Lysol Trump on your acquittal. It was tough, but you hung in there, and your boys came through for you. Even though you incited a riot and an insurrection and the overthrow of the American government, you were able to be acquitted because your boys are afraid of you. That's the thing that people don't understand. Well, people understand it. The Trump supporters in Senate and Congress, a number of them had to acquit Trump. They couldn't vote to convict him because they were afraid for their lives. That's the tragedy, is that Trump supporters are violent. A lot of Trump supporters are violent and they can kill you. We all saw them at the Capitol. But understand this: if you're a senator, if you're a congressman, a Republican senator, your life is in danger. The ones that voted to convict Trump, right now their lives are in disarray because they're constantly getting attacked. You guys saw Adam Kissinger. His cousin wrote him a letter. His family is disowning him for convicting Trump. So it's like, is that a good thing that your supporters are so violent that lawmakers are afraid to vote their conscience because they're afraid of the violence of your supporters? Is that a good thing? Or are you a king of thugs? America dodged a bullet getting rid of that stupid man. You dodged the bullet. That man is a horrible man. Did you guys catch his tribute to Rush Limbaugh on Fox? If you're here, if you if you catch, Donald Trump's call in on Fox, he was supposed to call in and talk about Rush Limbaugh. Did you guys catch that? Donald Trump called in to talk about the death of Rush Limbaugh. They expected Donald Trump to speak about Limbaugh. After all, he gave Rush Limbaugh a Medal of Freedom. He honored Rush Limbaugh. So you would think you would have one or two words to say in kindness about Rush Limbaugh. Do you know what Lysol said? Do you know what Lysol talked about the whole time? He was supposed to be talking about Limbaugh. MJ, you're so right. He's like, you said Rush was a man who he agreed with me that we won that election. He was so sure that we won that election. He believed that election was stolen. That's all you need to know about this man called Lysol. That's all you need to know. Even when you call him to eulogize a man who passed away, his first thought is to use is an opportunity to aggrandize himself, to speak on his victory, the victory in his mind. America dodged a bullet. 4 more years of that guy. I don't know what will be left of us. I don't know what will be left of us with 4 more years of that guy. And people ask, oh yeah, Yinka, that's what he said. Yinka, you can Google it. You can Google, you check it on YouTube. Donald Trump's tribute to Rush Limbaugh on Fox News. He called in to talk about Rush Limbaugh. And all he could talk about was Rush Limbaugh. Rush was a great man Rush also believed that we won that election. He kept saying that over and over again. Rush agreed with us that it was stolen from us. It's like he's unable. He's incapable. And that's a dangerous man to give power to. He cannot think outside of himself for a minute. This man died. Even many of us who do not like what Rush Limbaugh did in life, in terms of what some of us believe that his role in the American political system. I mean, I posted about Rush Limbaugh's passing and I said, oh, Rush Limbaugh has passed away. He's a man who really influenced American politics. I didn't have anything nice to say, but I didn't say anything. Yeah, out of reverence. Donald Trump couldn't help himself. And I'm going to tie it back to everything we've talked about today. Empathy. Thinking about other people. Letting the concerns of others be your concern. It will keep you from traveling to Cancun. Right? It will keep you from trying to blame windmills when you should be focused on helping people. Right? Ted Cruz tweeted against California. He tweeted against so many people. He was laughing at California when they had the blackout. That's what he was doing. Like, oh, you guys can't run a single, you can't even do primitive. He said you couldn't even maintain a civilized, electrical system. That's what Ted Cruz said about California when they had their own challenges with the blackouts. Look at him now, running to Cancun. Because it's the lack of empathy that makes you say that stupid stuff. And now when it's your turn, you want empathy. We have to be better. And I'm gonna finish up with something. I don't know which of you guys. MJ says dementia on the horizon for Trump. I don't know what he's gonna do with himself right now, man. They keep talking about him as a kingmaker, as a thing. The truth is, like, I trusted him to destroy his own presidency. I trust him to destroy his own post-presidency. I'm not worried. Not because he's not dangerous, not because his followers are not dangerous, but the thing that gives me a little confidence that he's rubbish and he's incompetent and he will always undo himself. That's what I'm confident about. Donald Trump will always undo himself. He's his own worst enemy, and I've always said that. So whatever he's building right now in terms of an empire, whatever he's building with all these people and the MAGA people who are crying because he lost, whatever, he will undo it. He will destroy it. He's already destroyed the Republican Party. So I'm not worried in that sense. I do worry about the damage that he did on his way out. I worry about the damage that is still being done by those who belong to his caucus, who are in power. I worry about that. I worry about what the FBI is saying that some Trump supporters are planning other attacks in other forms. I worry about that. But one thing I'm not worried about is Trump himself, because he will undo himself. He can't help it. He can't help it. And you know, this I just wanted to leave on this note. Kindness, caring for one another. Like Texas is a great example. Neighbors are opening their doors to other neighbors. Neighbors who have fireplaces, they're opening their doors to other neighbors to come in and get warm. You got to do it. You got to do it. I don't know how many of you saw that video or heard that story of the three people that died over a dispute over snow, right? You had the two neighbors, and you have the one neighbor, and he shot the husband and the wife and went inside and shot himself. Apparently, the dispute that day was about shoveling snow to his compound. I still have nightmares about that story. I don't understand the world. I do not understand a world in which shoveling snow can lead to three people dying. I don't understand it. That couple, the husband and wife, they had a son who has some developmental challenges. He's an orphan now. That boy is an orphan because of snow. Are you kidding me? Because of shoveling snow. Inga, it's disturbing me. Inga, it's disturbing me. It's not just sad. It's just I saw that video. I couldn't finish it. I couldn't finish it. Oh, my brother Alex, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. There's no world in which people should die because of snow shoveling. Are you kidding me? If that man shot the other man because he was sleeping with his wife, maybe. If you shoot the other guy because he ruined your life, you know, he wrecked your career, maybe. Snow? Snow? The substance that will melt? Are you serious right now? Are people getting killed over? Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not naive. I know that at some point that couple and that man that shot them over snow, I know they probably had problems. You know, neighbor disputes are one of the scariest things that we have in the world, and even in America, they must have had beef. You know, yeah, Alex, they must have had beef. But the icing, the last piece, the straw that broke the camel's back apparently was the fact that they were shoveling snow, and they're across from each other. I don't even know how you shovel snow into somebody else's compound across from you. And the next thing they're using curse words against each other. You're yelling, and the guy goes inside, gets a gun. You guys, that video is so disturbing. He goes inside, he gets a pistol, he shoots the wife, shoots the husband, right? He goes back inside, he gets a rifle, he finishes off the wife, and then goes and shoots the husband again. I'm sorry. That's demonic activity. There's a demonic involvement in that. There's nothing logical or reasonable about it. Something has gone off. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. After I saw that video, because there was snow around my area. After I saw that video, the next time there was snow, I shoveled the front of my house, and I saw my neighbor shoveling at the front of her house, and I joined her and I shoveled for her. I saw my other neighbor across the street, a wonderful lady who's always been good to us. I crossed the street. I said, "Can I shoveled, I shoveled in front of her, and then my neighbor to the other side. There's a part of the side of my house that's so long it gets me tired. I don't want to shovel it. That's why I bought a snow blower. It's called the Snow Joe 2000. I bought a snow blower. I was shoveling that side. The lady was shoveling her side. I met her at her driveway. We shoveled her driveway together. That video inspired me to just I was shoveling snow. I just started shoveling snow everywhere. I just started shoveling. I'm just shoveling snow. Every time I think about that video, I want to shovel people's driveway. Do you need help? I will shovel this for you. What are we doing? It's got to be a better world than that. I mean, it's a fallen world, but my goodness. Yeah, Alex said, yeah, gun control for sure. I think the dude had a rifle for. I mean, it was from what I hear, he was ex-military or something. So he's always gonna have a firearm, not just a rifle, bro. But that's the thing. He shot them with the pistol, and he went inside and got the rifle. Then he went in and he killed himself. I'm like, what just happened? Did the generation just get wiped off? And their son is in the house from shoveling snow. I still can't deal with it. No, we have pictures of people who shovel snow and then they shovel it so clean, and their neighbor's snow, they just make sure that they don't touch their neighbor. They don't shovel. People don't want to shovel a speck of snow that belongs to their neighbor. And it's like, how petty, how bitter are you? Do you know how much it's harder work to avoid shoveling my neighbor's front yard when I'm done with mine, because it's connected. It's hard work for me to stop precisely at my property line. I'm not doing that math. I'm not measuring that. That's stupid. I'm gonna shovel away. It's easier. Oh my goodness, empathy, people. That's what I'm praying for. This one, empathy, mercy, kindness. They sound like they're old words, but we need them. We need them. You just gotta we just gotta do that. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys go, man. I'm telling you something. Yo, Ted Cruz, stop lying on your kids. Don't do it again, all right? MJ, let me read you. Say 4 years of anger caused by one man. All the Karens and Betty being angry over it. All the Karens came out. All the Karens came out. The Bible says, try as much as possible. Yes, to be at peace with all men, as much as it lies with you. And you know, I say that, and I say it's not just for being kind. It's good for you too. It helps you. There are days where my neighbor would be the one at home, and you see somebody trying to come around my house, and he would call me at work and just be like, "Yo, is anybody supposed to be at your house right now?" Like, nah. She's like, "Nah, there's somebody there. I'm gonna tell them to leave." Thank you. I mean, I mean, I know life is not a bed of roses, but for where we can participate, for the parts that concern us, the ones that we can contribute to, we need to do what we need to do to just make our area better. Make your area better. It's easier said than done, you know, but whatever you can. And we can do all things through Christ. It's not just making money that we can use that verse for. In helping my neighbors, I can do all things. Yeah, Falon just said America has lost values. Yeah, yeah. The main values that made this country the greatest is now lost. It's lost. I mean, in fairness to America, man, it's like America was always a work in progress, right? It was never, and that's why when Trump said make America great again, the question was great again, like when, right? America has never really attained the greatness that it can now refer back to. It's a work in progress, it's ongoing. But like you said, what we've lost is the desire to even try, the desire to try to be better, the desire to be nice, the desire to be kind. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of charity. Like I said, people in Texas are opening their doors to people just to get warm. You know, if you have a fireplace at your house, you open the door for your neighbor, they come in. I saw somebody wheeling in an older couple to their house because he has a fireplace. That's what I'm talking about. That's love, man. That's life. That's why that's the only thing that can preserve the species, right? This is why we don't exterminate our own selves, right? So, and that's what I think. Even in politics, I think we should lead with that. We should lead with that compassion, empathy. You know, if we care about other people, man, even as Christians, evangelism would go so well or so much better if we lead with love. The Bible talks about if somebody comes to you hungry and you pray for them and you say, God be with you, and you don't feed them, like you messed up. You messed up. You know, because you got to care for people. If you show that you care for their needs and you now evangelize, it makes sense coming from you because you've already shown that you care for their physical body. So when you're not talking about their spiritual self, you're like, all right, this person that can feed my body, I'll listen to him to feed my soul. That's the way it's supposed to work. You know, I don't want to get into, you know, Christian politics, evangelicals and the right wing and all that today, but we got to lead in love. And my heart is out to Texas right now. I hope you guys are good. MJ in the UK, man, I'm praying that God will just eradicate this. Corona must go. Rona must go. Rona must go. I couldn't get into Nigeria discussion today. Nigeria is always too big for me. Nigeria is always too big for me. But yeah, but yeah, see, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We helped our neighbors with hot water. We have a gas stove while most have electrical. That's amazing. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Because Yinka, let me tell you something. Had it been someone else, man, you'd have kept your stove to yourself. bro, you just be hitting your hot water. Nobody needs to know. You know what I mean? But it's that compassion that moves you. Like, my neighbor is suffering. All right, cool. Y'all come here. I need hot water. This is what makes the world work. And so we just need more people like that. And that's why I'm saying, ordinarily, I will have no problem with Ted Cruz going to Cancun with his family, ordinarily. But he's the dude that kept making fun of other people when they were going through blackouts, never thinking that one day Texas might go through that. And when it happens to Texas, he bolts out of town. He's the one dude that doesn't get the benefit of a doubt, because he was talking like it was talking all brave. And now the blackouts came to Texas. Now he remember he got a ticket to Cancun. Get out of here with that, Ted. You know, next time you vote, I mean, Ted is not up for election again until 2024, I don't think. So he's got a few years to hope you guys forget it. I hope you don't forget it. You got to remember those who were there for you when this is happening. That's ridiculous, man. So, you know, like, you know, we just got to, more love to everybody. You know, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to LCWC Syracuse. Your boy's going to be over there on Sunday, hanging out with the youth. Pastor David Dada over there, man. It's going to be good. I want to say a big thank you to everybody for coming out, man. Yo, be good to one another, Texas. You guys stay safe. Let me know how you're doing. And like I said, if you know any charities, that I'm going to do the research and find out where we can contribute money. I'll put it on my page. You know, MJ, stay blessed, man. Love you guys, man. Appreciate you. It's your boy JFK. It's been another wonderful time. Like I said, man, it's a tough time in Texas. You're on our minds. Just call on all your survival skills from boarding school. All my Niger people, you know what to do. Fetching water, you know what's up. You know, we're going to make it. We're going to come out of this better. And God's going to take us out of all of this, including Corona. It's your boy JFK, man. We're going to catch up later. And stay safe, stay strong. And let's love one another, man. Peace and blessings. Later.